Aloha, this is Dr. Steve, and this is Chapter 1 from the textbook Web Development Design Foundations with HTML5. This is kind of a basic introduction to the internet and the web, not real technical, more issues and concepts. We're going to deal with these learning objectives, describe the evolution of the internet, talk about web standards, universal design, accessibility, what's a reliable source. We'll devise some ethical uses of the web. We'll talk about web browsers and servers, networking protocols, URLs, HTML5, and some popular trends. Feel free to pause this video anytime you want if you want to look something up or whatever. This is basically a customized version of the PowerPoint that comes with the textbook. Okay, the internet. The internet is an interconnected network, a computer network. It spans the globe, so it is a massive internet. Massive network. The reason why the internet took off, number one, was the removal of the ban on commercial activity. Years ago, there were no advertisements. Amazing. And then, of course, the development of the World Wide Web, which is that kind of multimedia subdomain of the internet. And then a browser like Mosaic or Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, that kind of thing. Of course, computers became cheaper. Service providers became more abundant, and all of those things together really took off, and the internet just bloomed. And of course, in particular, that part called the World Wide Web, which is that graphical user interface of information stored. You have pictures and sound and movies, all that stuff is the World Wide Web. The internet itself is more text-based. Like any new technology, cars or the railroad or whatever, we have to have standards and some kind of coordination in order for everybody to kind of be working together and making these things boom. So we have the IETF, the IAB, Internet Architecture Board. Then of course for the World Wide Web itself, we have something called W3C. We have ICANN, right, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Numbers and Names. You're going to use this whether or not you go through GoDaddy or one-on-one for web hosting, doesn't matter. This is a non-profit. They deal with internet domain names, IP addresses, parameters, port numbers, that sort of thing. ICANN, I-C-A-N-N. And then, like I mentioned, the internet growth has been incredible. It hasn't been around that long. To tell you the truth, in 95 you only had 0.4% of the population on. And 15, they had 42%, now even more. Besides the internet itself, there are also things called intranets and extranets. The internet intranet is a private network. Extranet is also a private network, and it is, of course, larger. It goes further. As I mentioned, the W3C, that is the World Wide Web Consortium, really sets web standards, makes recommendations, produces specifications. It also has something called the Web Accessibility Initiative, which goes into the web being for everyone. And no matter what kind of website you create, you need to make sure that everybody can access this, especially if you're using grant funds or working for the government in any way, capacity. You have to follow ADA rules, or also called Section 508. That means that everybody should be able to access the web and understand what's going on. And part of that, of course, is the concept of universal design. Again, making sure everybody can access it. This also goes into responsive web design, so no matter what kind of device you're using, people can access the content of that website. Okay, if you go to some place, you need to know whether or not, hey, is this information good or not? Is it fake news or is it real news? Is the organization credible? If it's an EDU, should be okay. If it's a .com, you might want to wonder about that. Is it Wikipedia? Well, in general, okay, but specifically, no. But the resources at the bottom of Wikipedia articles are usually a pretty good place to start. Okay, at this point, you should know the difference between the internet and the web. You should be able to explain 3 events that have led to the growth of the web and understand the basic concept of universal design. Okay, pause a second, and then let's go on. Network. A network is 2 or more computers connected together for the purpose of communicating and sharing resources. So all kinds of networks. And we do this all the time nowadays. I mean, small ones, we have big ones. It's just how the computers work. The most common form is called a local area network, or a LAN. We have that in our classrooms, in our offices. We have a WAN, a wide area network. Again, it's usually some sort of a larger public or commercial network. The backbone of the internet is usually kind of fiber optics, and we have it throughout the campus, across the state, even under the ocean. These are fiber optic backbones. The web is based on the client-server model, whereby the client, that is the computer that you're sitting in front of, makes a request to a web server, which then fulfills a request and gives you the information that you want. So it's a client-server model. It's really important. It's a different kind of model than what we had before, and how different other kinds of technologies work. Okay, so let's look at this client-server. Okay, so the browser makes a request, the server responds to that request, and then each time the connection is dropped, which is why you're able to have so much information going on. It's different from a telephone call. The web client is usually some kind of a browser, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, whatever. The web server, the most common ones are probably Apache. It runs off of a Linux type operating system, or you have information IaaS runs off a Windows machine. MIME types are those different kinds of media. It's called MIME, MIME types. It's a set of rules for multimedia that gives you your sound, your video, your artwork, different kinds of graphics. Everyone has to agree on the different kinds of MIME types, or the extensions that are used. The internet really has several protocols that are going on. There is no one protocol. Some of the protocols that are used are FTP. We're going to use FTP in this class, File Transfer Protocol. That is to move documents from the local computer to the web server. We also have email protocols. We'll be using an SMTP protocol for this class. However, you can use POP3 or IMAP. And then, of course, we have HTTP Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is that all URLs have that HTTP : / which is telling the browser, okay, let's use the internet. We're going to go out and use the internet. And then in that internet, we have the TCP/IP protocols. Those are two different protocols. They work together, however, hand in hand, and are instrumental in making the web work. Now, TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, is what kind of breaks up all the message into packets. Key thing here is package. And the header of the packet, which is the source that's going, where it's from, and what part of the puzzle it is, the checksum, and then of course the data, the content. Then you have the IP protocol, which is a set of rules that controls how the data is sent between computers and the internet and the routers and everything. So together, they work very well together, TCP, IP. An IP address is a set of numbers. It's unique. Right now we have like a IPv4. Most places have moved on to IPv6. That is version 6. We also have something called domain names. We have domain name servers, which will translate an IP address like this one down here, 173.194.116.72 into Google.com. They are the same thing. Most of us don't think in numbers, we think in terms of like domain names, or URLs, Uniform Resource Locators, sometimes referred to as Uniform Resource Identifiers. You see here's an example of a URL. We have the protocol, the subdomain, the main domain, the top level domain, the folder, the web page itself. And this is index.html. It could be HTML, it could be .asp, it could be .php, a number of things depending on what types of services are running on the server. It can also be something else besides index. It could be welcome. It depends on how the server is configured. Most people just configure it to index.html. I like 3-letter extensions myself, but people like more. Okay, your top level domain, so the things at the very end in education is edu for commercialactivities.com. .org or nonprofits, .gov, government. You have country top levels, .tv, .us. However, this really, people have sold these out, as it were. I think Transylvania TV sold theirs because we discovered they can make a whole bunch of money. The domain name system is very convenient, but it does add an extra layer into the transmission process. You have to have domain name servers in between them that do that translation between the IP address and the domain name. It's basically just a lookup table. It's a huge one though. Markup languages, the main one we use in this course anyway is HTML. It's a set of markup symbols or code that's placed in a file. You also have XML, which we are not going to be using anymore in this class. It's more of a kind of a text-based database, as it were. We don't need to use that so much anymore, but we still use similar things. We use JSON and a whole bunch of other kinds of protocols and languages for accessing data. Mostly what we're using here is going to be HTML5. We even have HTML 5.1, which gives a little bit more versions. So again, 5.2. Okay, hey, almost done here. We should understand the components of the client-server model. We should identify two of the main protocols used in the internet. Understand similarities and differences between the URL and a domain name. All right, what do we use the internet for? You name it, everything. E-commerce, mobile access, blogs, wikis, networking, RSS, podcasts, cloud computing. You name it, we use the internet for. Hey, even for this class, education, right? You're using the internet. It's used for everything. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please feel free to listen to it again, start it again, stop me anytime you want. Aloha.